Hey everyone, Joe Weissman here, and you're tuned into the Illinois Business Playbook. Big ideas, bold stories, and local impact. Let's make some noise. This episode is brought to you by Duck a Diet, McHenry County's go-to scratch-made meal prep and power bowls. They offer healthy, ready-to-eat meals with easy pickup or home delivery, making it simple to eat well without the hassle. Order at duckadiet.com, follow at Duckadiet, and use code 10BP for 25% off. All right, welcome to the Illinois Business Playbook. This is actually our last episode of season 1, so I hope you guys enjoy this one. We are with Laurie from No Sugar Momma. Laurie, how are you doing today?
Absolutely fabulous, Joe. So great to be here with you. Love it. Love it.
Awesome. Well, we're very happy that you're here with us as well. I know you have a very compelling business. I also know that you have a connection with one of our previous guests and one of our power partners, Andres Lopez. Can you talk about that?
Andres is such a positive business owner, but more than that, he is bringing the most nutritious meals to support people with their health and wellness. And he's one of those people that helps people in any way he can. And love his positivity, love his meals. Great guy.
Well, I couldn't say that any better. We're big fans of Andres here as well. Laurie, you have a very cool business that, I got to be honest, you just dropped us off some freebies, so I know we're going to enjoy to have those later. But tell us all about what inspired you to start No Sugar Momma, and tell us all about it.
Absolutely. Real treats without things that degrade our body's systems. That's really what started it. I went through a period in life where I had a health crisis, and I don't use the word crisis lightly, but I was so sick, I left a Fortune 100 job at 25 years in my career, and I was that sick. And I found out I had a lot of things going on in my body. And once I knew there was things that were happening that were causing me to lose weight, I was having issues sleeping, my face was broken out, I could go on and on. Some of them were more serious symptoms. I realized I needed to clean up my diet, working with a functional medical doctor. And once I found out that I couldn't have gluten, dairy, processed sugar, eggs needed to be eliminated for a while, and any kind of preservatives or things that bind foods, all that challenges our gut especially. And so, Joe, I gave it up. And looking for treats that don't have any of those items and then throw in dyes and preservatives, forget it. So no good treats. And that's really what got No Sugar Momma, right? I've got 3 products. I brought some along. These came out of that health journey, and this is about 5 years ago. Yeah.
That is awesome. That is awesome. You've been running this business for about 5 years or so. Running small businesses is not always an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
You definitely got to deal with some hurdles and some obstacles along the way. Can you talk about some of those that you've dealt with and how you've been able to overcome those?
Yes. There's been a fair number. And I would tell you the first one that maybe other entrepreneurs or business owners may relate to, and that is, do I really want to do this? Can I do this? Can I succeed at this? Some of that chatter that we have, sometimes in the back of our minds. And I didn't know if I had it in me to really launch a food company and then take it to what I'm on track to do, which is a national brand. So coming to terms with, if I don't do it, I'm never going to know. And one day down the road, I might actually regret it. And so that was sort of the first, let's see, yes, I'm going to do it. And then once you do it, it's sort of like, how to break it down to make it manageable. And in most businesses, there's so many pieces and parts. It's, what I have found, there's not one way to do it, any business, let alone foods. And so what I really figured out is start simple and small and then build on it. And key for me, Joe, talk to people in the business. Ask them for any information. You don't even know sometimes what you're asking them for, but people share things. And next thing you know, you kind of start to formulate plans.
Such an important lesson you're just teaching all of us, not just about business, but when you really feel strongly that you want to do something, you gotta not worry about that negativity that's saying you can't do it. You got to say, I'm just going to do this and put everything into it. Such a strong statement. I hope people that really resides with people, because I think that doesn't just work for small businesses. That works on anything that we really believe in life, right?
Absolutely, Joe. That's right.
We believe it, we can achieve it. You're obviously you're getting ready to go national here. You're becoming somewhat of a thing here. We're very well aware of No Sugar Momma in these parts. In order to grow your business, you need to get You need to get customers, you need to keep customers, you need to grow customers. So let's talk about that. What sort of steps do you put in place to grow your customer base?
Well, the first step, which is foundational, it's so important. What is in the product? And so early on, I had to decide for this to be a premium brand of decadent and nutritional treats, I needed to lock in on what ingredients were going to comprise each of the cookies. And so I would say that No Sugar Mama is built on functional food ingredients that provide real nutrition. So that's one thing that would say any business owner needs to understand what's their value proposition. That's the value proposition. Next up, you got to get people to taste it. So in my case, I said, whatever it takes to get it out there to people, I'll do it. And so I give away a lot of samples, right? I do sampling events at stores that I sell at, farmers markets, different families, friends, connections of connections sort of thing. Once people eat it, they love it. They're actually, in some cases, they don't believe it because there's so many things that are not in my products that are in most other treats. So the taste is so important. And yeah, you're giving away some dollar amount with this, but it comes back in return, right? Tenfold plus. And then I think another thing for me, what I found is the medical community has such a influence over what we're putting in our bodies. And so I spent some time meeting with some doctors. One of them actually is a heart doctor, another doctor is a gut doctor. So I've got testimonials now from two noted doctors, Dr. Berry and Dr. Parag Doshi, actually here in Schaumburg area. They say that no sugar mama treats are good for the gut and good for the heart. And so now that I've got them as medical testimonials, as sponsors, they're not paid. They believe strongly in the ingredients profile of the products. So they are now a testimony. And so when people see that a doctor is actually approving a treat, it has some influence in the mind of the consumer because why would the doctor support it? Oh, because this treat is actually natural and it's good for you because there's real nutrition. And so the samples, the doctors, and then I would say for me, helping kids understand what's in these treats because kids are talking to their parents when they're out shopping. And so I saw this on the demos. The kids know what they want. And so, the kids are, Mom, Dad, can I have it in the cart? And so, kids, even at very young ages, they know what they want. And you know what might surprise people? Kids don't want things really sweet these days. And
Mm,
I'm shocked because, I've asked kids, how is it? Is it okay? And they're like, I get two thumbs up from kids because the sweets are not overly sweet. So these are some of the things that stand out for me.
I love it. I love it. You've been doing this now for almost 5 years, so you've certainly seen some alterations in the industry. Again, in order to be a very successful small business owner that you are, Lori, you've got to not only be reactive, you have to be proactive.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at some of those trends.
Mm,
What sort of trends do you anticipate in the industry coming up, and how do you plan on dealing with those trends?
well, I mean, so one of the trends, let's just go there. Everybody's talking about prices. So ingredients are costing more and more and more. We see it all over the place, especially with premium ingredients like chocolate, premium ingredients, nutritional flours, nutritional sweeteners. A lot of foods, the worse they are for us, the cheaper they are. And so a trend is less ingredients in products. Why is that? Don't need all the extra ingredients when you're using high quality foods to start with. You can use fewer things, and the food is actually still satiating somebody's sweet tooth or their appetite. And so, one is containment of costs and not cutting what really this brand is built on, which is premium. So, that starts to look like how do I get ways to drive down costs. I've been coming up with different marketing approaches and sponsorship approaches. And so, one of the ways that I'm doing this is that, and it's on my packaging, I'm actually a sponsor vision partner with Just Date Company, which is a chocolate company as well as a date sweetener company, which all my products are sweetened by dates. Dr. Sylvie is the owner of this company. She started it and she did it because her father's a diabetic. So, chocolate that has three ingredients. I sponsor these products or my products with Just Date. And so they actually have a logo on my product packaging, and I'm able to negotiate a lower cost then. And so a way to stay savvy and not sacrifice. I would tell you also staying plant based, right, with no animal proteins has been big because a lot of people are citing health problems now with a lot of excess animal fats in their diet. So that plant-based protein, it's going up and up and up. And you see all the consumer publications, people want more and more plant-based, and they also don't want dyes and preservatives and chemicals and other things that bind the food. And so I'm staying away from lecithins, emulsifiers, them gums, things that almost sound a little scientific when you look at the label. You're like, what's xanthan gum? Is that even a food? Well, guess what? I don't need xanthan gum because I use, for example, replace an egg, for instance. So those are some of the things that I have my eye on.
Excellent. I know this interview is coming out a couple days after something kind of special, something movie oriented, shall we say? Can you tell us all about what?
Yes. Yes, it's very, I'm so grateful. I have a partnership, and you can tell No Sugar Mama is a huge collaborator. I'll just say that to any small business owner, collaboration. So the reason why I'm introducing collaboration is McHenry County College. And I worked together. I had an intern with me for a year, and this intern was a film student, and he was doing marketing and communications materials for me. But he learned about my health crisis and what I did to, leave my job and then go through an extensive, rehabilitation period. And he came to me and he said, Laura, I'd like to make a movie. And I said, and I don't need a movie to sell cookies, but he felt so strongly about it. And I could tell, something was there. And I just said, you know what? Okay, fine. And so 9 months later, 65 minutes, the No Sugar All Love movie debuted last December at the Woodstock theaters. And that was a gift to Colin because the movie was on the marquee. So when he walked up to the movie marquee, he saw it. He about fainted on the sidewalk. His mom was there. But that movie documents what happened to really create No Sugar Mama. And he somehow pulled it together masterfully. And so we're having a showing, our 1 year anniversary of No Sugar All Love, free movie at Woods. It's in Woodstock. It's at the Food Shed, which is a beautiful food co-op. And I will
Okay,
have No Sugar Mama treats. So I've got three of my treats there for the show, and it's from 6 to 7:30. It'll be on my social media, and then CM Productions, which is Colin Morisano, CM Studios. And so I want to give him credit because he masterfully came up with my life story. I couldn't have told it any better. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
December 18th, that is. That's December 18th.
Beautiful. Lori, give us a feel good story. Tell us about somebody you've been able to help out along the way that's really put a smile on your face, other than I'm sure helping yourself out, by the way, but
Yes,
about
yes.
someone else out
Helping
there.
helping me express my love for humanity and earth by really good treats. I have to tell you, Joe, it's so rewarding. And I encourage again all business owners to just keep reminding themselves what burns their fire and what makes their heart sing, because that will always take things to the next level of benefiting everybody that they're interacting with, whether it's a food product or a service. For me, many stories have happened when I've been at demos at the different stores that I'm at. It's like 23 locations. When I give out treats, I've had probably countless kids say, that's good. And so then the
That's
parent, right? The parents looking at me and they're like, they're smiling because they realize how good that product is and their child likes it. But probably a story that really moved me, if somebody had tears in their eyes and said, Lori, you can't imagine what I've gone through. I can't get any treats. There's nothing out there that I can eat, but yours actually meet the criteria. And the person had tears in their eyes. And, Joe, it's a treat, but our life is full of all kinds of things. And a treat brings joy. You sit down, there's a birthday cake, things like that.
yeah.
This woman had tears in her eyes. She thanked me for the brand. And I just thought that is moving. And you know what? On a hard day, sometimes I think about those kind of stories, Joe, and that really was fulfilling. But I appreciated that sentiment from that person.
That's beautiful, Lori. That is so beautiful. Lori, what's the best way for people to reach out to you?
If you go on the nosugarmama.us website, I will absolutely respond. I love getting emails from people. People see me out and about. They'll send in an idea. They'll ask me if I can, come up with a different type of treat. They're, all kinds of things. So I will respond to them. So that's at nosugarmama.us. Hit that website and there's a nice web form. I will get it. I love hearing from people.
Well, we loved hearing from you. And again, this is the end of season one. We're really looking forward to season two with all you guys out there. And Lori, thank you so very much for spending time with us. Your story is so impactful. And I'm really glad that we gave you the space to be able to tell some of it. Okay.
Joe, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Just to all the viewers and listeners, just Any holiday, good tidings to everybody and well
Yes,
wishes for peace, love, and joy. That's what I'll say. Thank you so much.
I'm right with you. You take care, Laurie.
Bye, Joe.